Okay, so I have that hub I made on now. Fits just right. Put the rotor on. Use some bolts that don't fit really because of the different bolt patterns. So, but I had it on there bolted tight to where when I spun this, it's perfectly round. So now I'm working on the bracket to hold the new caliper mount. Where's the new caliper mount? I thought it was right here. Let's see, new caliper mount must be back here. Yeah, here's the new caliper mount. So this is the Camaro caliper mount, and I have a actual what's it called, a CAD drawing on my computer in the house. So this is a 5/16 thick is how big this is going to be, and I have to get the bolt holes and everything lined up right on it, but I have to cut these off right now. I'm going to go corner ways on it right here and right here. Pull this cardboard template off. But, you know, fabricating it myself here. I am using the CAD drawings as a diagram to go by. But I'm going to stop here and I'm going to cut them off with the Sawzall. This is just a rough cut right now, just to get them ears out of the way, and then of course before everything's done I'll have to grind it all nice and paint it again. So that's what I gotta do first, cut them off. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to make the bracket to hold the caliper on. This is just some 5/8 plate, which I believe it's actually 3/4 what I need. Now, I've talked to a couple guys online who actually make the adapter brackets, and they said the stock Camaro stuff wouldn't really work because it goes really far behind the spindle. But I really don't care. I'm gonna make it work. It's really the only way I've got to make it work. So, gonna clean these up, gonna drill them. This is behind the bracket, in between the bracket and the spindle. So it's going to be like that behind there and in between the spindle. So I'm going to drill these out, and then we're going to make it fit. Probably going to have to put a washer on it to, you know, we're getting the hole distances between each other, which they're not very far apart, which I ain't got the other ones marked yet. This is just the bracket side. So I'm going to drill this. Okay, so I got it drilled now. I got one bolt holding it in. I didn't get the factory bolts with this, so basically what I got there is just holding it for a second. So I'm going to cut this line now back here. This is a center point. Delete that. Delete. I'm going to cut this with my dash wheel. I don't feel like hooking up the plasma right now, so I'm gonna cut this off. Then we'll be able to test it on the car again, and we'll see how far away the bolts that bolt to this spindle is gonna be. And I don't think they're gonna be very far. They're gonna be wide over, but I think they're gonna be like somewhere in this area, really. But I'm gonna cut this now. Bracket, it's cut, ground down the nasty edge. So now I'm gonna bolt it back to the bracket, test it on the car, use my paper template I got somewhere, and see how far these holes need to be away mark it, drill it, and then see if it fits. I know it's too long right now. It's definitely got to be cut off on each end here, but can't tell until you got it on there. So that's what I gotta do now. Okay, so it wouldn't fit because of it was hitting the spindle, so I cut out a pie cut out of it here, so that way I can get it to fit. And I'm gonna grind this, but 5/8 plate, plasma did it like nothing. That new Everlast I got. So now we just gotta grind the crap out of it. Starting to get low on flat discs. I need like 1,000,000 of them things. The good ones are expensive, like this Walter one. These things are high, but you get what you pay for on them. Nothing special, it's just soapy water I use to find holes in tires. Which my family is legendary for the amount of tires we go through. And it's not bad use, it's just garbage tires, man. Alright. I'm gonna bolt the bracket back to that, test fit it on the car, and see what we gotta do now. Okay, so after a couple of days of trying over and over again, of course now it's gonna rain when I start talking, the stock Camaro setup, which is the 12-inch rotor, and the brake caliper off of the 98 through 2002. It don't matter if it's V6, SS, same brakes, will not go on the 91 through 96 Caprice and Battle Super Sport. Here's the reason why. Okay, so I've been fiddling trying to make the bracket for the back, which is what this is. Now, this is like this. You can see how close some holes are. The inner holes are your actual brake caliper mount. So, 1 second, let me put this on. Okay, there's that one, there's that one. Okay. Alright, so, what's going on here, which this is not, you know, a full good setup. Let me put my light on here. Okay. If you look down there, you will see this bracket that I made right here will hit the spindle before it's anywhere near going in. And that's where how far in, as you can see right there, them bolts have to be to where the caliper fits perfectly where it's supposed to on the rotor. Now, all isn't lost here. I didn't just waste my time and destroy a hub. What I am going to do, which I have talked to a guy online, let me see if I can't get his name, his company name. Real nice guy, he helped me out the whole way here when I was asking about a bracket. Well, actually that bracket I made, I was asking to see, you know, what they cost. RPM Automotive Brakes. Okay. That's who let me in on a little secret when I was making this. The reason these will not work is because it pushes the Camaro bracket in too far onto the spindle. You would basically have to cut your spindle almost in half. I mean, it goes way back. And you would lose all strength of that spindle. Okay? So, what he told me to do, which is what I'm going to do, all you have to do to make this setup work is, I'm going to have to build another bracket or buy one. He sells them, the kits. But I'm not going to get a kit. I'll probably make one. Because actually I think I can flip that one. It'll fit, but we'll go down that road when we get there. But what I have to do is I have to get the Corvette C5 abutment bracket, which is this. Right there. That bracket. And then just get the 13-inch rotors. Now what that's going to do is it's going to push it out. I think it's either an inch or almost an inch. Geez, we're going to get a tornado. But anyway, so basically, which is that flipped. Now, let me see here. I think I can flip it. Pardon the darkness for a second here. Yeah, it's fun. Which I have a drop light. I'm just trying to film it and everything. Yeah. Make you guys look at my blackness there. Okay. Get on there now. Get on there. All the way on there. All the way on there. Okay. So, now once I have flipped that, it actually pushed the mount holes out. Let me see there. I believe that's about a ½ inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. Alright. So that right there would probably still work, the bracket itself, on the Corvette abutment brackets, which I'm going to have to buy now. And actually, if you look at it, yeah, it's even already all the way up against it. Clears down here, which is the problem I was having, is clearance. So that bracket would probably work. I would just have to, you know, step it to fit around the little knobs, the little notches right here. Okay, I think I'm getting a tornado. Let me get out of here. Okay, we're back. It wasn't nothing. Just one big gust that I did not enjoy. But anyway, as I was saying, okay, need the Corvette abutment bracket. This piece I made will probably work. 13-inch rotors. But other than that, I believe it'll be good. And then I have to adapt it to the brake line there. Let me think here. Now, if you're running a Camaro, like a the LS1 style, you can use, I believe, just the abutment bracket, and it'll bolt in the stock position with your calipers, and then just put the bigger Corvette 13-inch rotors on it. Now, it's just a theory. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it will. Now this setup I'm using here too, you could probably use it on a 1500 that's a 5x5 bolt pattern. The Astrovan 5x5 bolt pattern. Basically anything that's 5x5, you can turn the hubs down, re-drill to fit the Camaro Corvette bolt pattern. S10, which is why I am doing this, basically because it's dirt cheap and easy to find S10 Camaro Corvette in 20s, whereas a 5x5, I've lived down here for 15 years, and I've only seen like maybe 10 sets of 5x5 come through here that were above 18s. So yeah, so that's what you gotta do. But other than that, easy peasy lemon squeezy on that. I'm probably going to just pop this rotor off, push my studs back in, bolt my wheel back up until I can get some abutment brackets and some 13-inch rotors. Then I will drill it. Or I'm also thinking I can probably get some S10 rotors, like the 80s, 90s models, and do the same thing, you know, turn it down to where it'll fit that, so that way the bolt pattern is already, and then you can just use I think it's an A36 bearing in the back of the hub, and it pushes it out like this where it needs to be. That's why I didn't use it in the first place, because I didn't think it would push it, it would go in too far, and then, you know, your castle nut would be off and everything else. But other than that, I think it's, you know, I'm on the right track here. But as soon as I get those, I will make that video and show you that. But thanks for watching, and as soon as I get them, which them are like $100 and some odd for the abutments, and the rotors are another $75, so $200, unless I can find them used on somebody's Corvette who wants to give them away, which is not going to be possible. But that's where I'm at. Watch, like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much.